Hey there, legends. Tori here from Geelong, Victoria, Australia, and I actually think you may be more beautiful than the people Marilyn Manson sung about.
It's Idiot Box Radio with your host, Tori.
Hey there guys, how you doing? Tori here from idiotboxradio.com, the funniest, most informative, brilliant show on the internet, not watched by hardly enough people, but that doesn't matter because you guys are here today. I really appreciate you. Now, coming to you from the mean streets of Geelong, you can email me at idiotboxradio@gmail.com. I love listener emails, so please do send them through. I do answer you and I do read it out on the show. Please also leave a review on the podcasting video service of your choice. You can find me streaming live on TikTok most nights at idiotboxradio. To find everything, just go to idiotboxradio.com. Enough self-promotion, even though you can become a patron for $1.50 a month. Cheap as chips. Most people have got that. You can only buy a coffee at a service station for that sort of money, and you'll get your name at the end of the video, just like the good people at the end of this one did. Alrighty, enough of me. Well, not really. We can't ever get enough of me and my narcissism. I don't know if I'm narcissistic, because I've got a bit of self-loathing. I just do like talking to you guys. I guess that's, I don't fucking know. Hi. We're doing a book review, guys, as promised in my previous one. I recently reviewed The Girl with All the Gifts. Make sure you do check it out. It's not The Girl with All the Graphic Interchange Files. It's The Gifts, like that. But this review, friends, is by one of my, well, he's rapidly becoming one of my favorite authors, Joe Hill. Now, I say this even though he really doesn't need it. He's Stephen King's son, and a lot of people are surprised because I love Stephen King. He is one of, if not my favorite author. And his son, he's got two sons. I think it's Owen. Yeah, it's Owen King and Joe Hill. Joe Hill decided just not to use Daddy's last name, I guess, to forge his own way in the world, and he's fucking amazing. But this is no exception. So this book is called Horns, and if you're wondering who that is on the front, yes, it's Daniel Radcliffe. It actually is. Now, that's because it has since been made into a major motion picture starring Daniel Radcliffe, and I'll tell you right now, as of the recording of this, I have not watched the movie. I've been told it differs. I've been told it's not as good. I will be the judge of that fucking thing. Thank you so very much, because I am the arbiter of all things pop culture. Now, gonna read out the blurb and then tell you what I thought about the book. Get ready for some beautiful reading. Are you ready? Okay. Once Ig lived the life of the blessed. Born into privilege, he had security and wealth and a place in his community. Ig had it all and more. He had the love of Merrin Williams, a love founded on shared daydreams, mutual daring, and unlikely midsummer magic. Then beautiful, vivacious Merrin was gone, raped and murdered under inexplicable circumstances, and Ig was the only suspect. He was never tried for the crime, but in the court of public opinion, he was and always would be guilty. But now Ig can hear people's deepest, darkest secrets and means to use this ability to find whoever killed Merrin. It's time for a little revenge. It's time the devil had his due. Okay, so basically Ignatius Parrish, Ig Parrish, wakes up one day and he's got fucking horns coming out of his head. When that happens, he discovers that people blurt out the shit that they actually want to do, and if he touches them, he finds out all the deepest, dankest fucking stuff that they have ever done. So, he's got the blame for Merrin's death. He didn't do it. She was the love of his life. He sets off around his town and discovers that people hate his guts and think he did it. He was the number one suspect, and they think that Daddy's money bought his freedom. He had nothing to do with it. You will find out who did it. It is a good whodunit, but gradually these horns are real. They're not imagined, but they've got the weird ability that when people see him, they see the horns, they react to the horns, but then they start to sort of forget the horns are there. It's as though the horns are willing them to not remember their presence. Now, it's funny, you read the book, and the book is fantastic. I highly do recommend. I just bumped the camera, I'm sorry. I just wanted to go to page 19 because it's not often I do this, but this was amazing. So this was a scene that happened in it, and forgive me, it's not going to give it away, but hopefully it'll make you want to read it as much as it made me want to read it. So get ready for this. Ig was closer to the girl. Now, she's a little girl. She's fallen on the floor in a doctor's surgery. Ig was closer to the girl than anyone, and her mother wasn't coming over. He took her wrist to help her to her feet. When he touched her, he knew that her name was Marsha Letterworth, and she dumped her breakfast into her mother's lap on purpose that morning, because her mother was making her go to the doctor to have her warts burned off, and she didn't want to go, and it was going to hurt, and her mother was mean and stupid. Marcia turned her face up to his, her eyes full of tears, with a clear, intense blue of a blowtorch. What a great way to describe this. I hate Mummy, she told Ig. I want to burn her in her bed with matches. I want to burn her up, all gone. I'm sorry, I was fucking sold. You've got a kid wanting to set Mummy on fire. Yeah, I'm in. I'm reading. I'm keen. I'm there. The way Hill writes is magnificent. His character development is second to none. You'll care about Ig. You care about the characters. And I'm sure that Joe hates this. Well, maybe he doesn't. I don't fucking care, Joe. You're not going to watch this probably. Oh, you might, because I am Tory. He writes, in my opinion, as well as his father. And that is the greatest compliment I can possibly give a writer. To give me characters every single book that I give a fuck about. And one of the things also, too, if you read these in publishing order, Joe Hill wrote a book called Heart-Shaped Box, and it's about a heavy metal rocker called Judas Coin. And one of the things I loved in this was there was a nod to that book. I won't tell you how, but it makes you feel he's building a universe because something in that book exists in this one, and it's so beautifully done. You're going to meet his childhood friends, his brother, his family. You're going to hate most of them, but you are going to love Ig, and you're going to sympathize with his plight as he lost the love of his life. Please read Horns by Joe Hill, then watch the movie. I'm a big fan of saying read the book first. The book will always be better. And I'd love to know what your thoughts are. So please do drop a comment below or leave me a voicemail or send me your voice and email it on through. I'd love to know your thoughts. Make sure you're subscribing, guys. Go to idiotboxradio.com. And in the meantime, you can get Horns in various forms, but that's the one I've got right behind me. And if I can't find this picture and I'm using a green screen, I'm utterly fucked. So this is the version I'm holding on to, but there are tons of other titles. This just sort of matched the size of the other Joe Hill books I've got because uniformity and OCD. Later. Love you.